I'm Matt from Wrestling Unlimited, here to review Battleground 2016. Battleground 2016 was the official starting point of the brand extension, where Raw versus SmackDown officially began. And it also served as kind of a culmination of some feuds that were going on, some continuation of some feuds that were going on, and it also served as a launching point for other feuds to begin. Battleground 2016 was not a bad show, but it's kind of stretching it and pushing it, saying it was a good show. There were still some things on the show that didn't really please me that much. So let's start off with the first match. Sasha Banks and Bayley defeating Charlotte and Dana Brooke. Obviously the story being Sasha feuding with Charlotte and Dana Brooke at this time. She needed a partner. You get the debut on the main roster of Bayley. Good moment. It was a pretty good setup. And this match was a pretty solid opening tag team match. What astounded me about this is that Charlotte was actually the one to tap out. So, wouldn't that really eliminate her undefeated streak at a pay-per-view? I know that they were emphasizing that a lot at Hell in a Cell, but isn't that technically a loss? She did tap out. It'd be different if Dana Brooke tapped out, but Charlotte tapped. Just saying. Then you had the Wyatt family defeating the New Day. And storytelling is pretty dead in WWE, but in this match, storytelling was on point. And God bless everyone, the Wyatt family went over. That's fine. And a loss to the New Day is definitely, or a loss for the New Day, is definitely not going to hurt them. They're still one of the most over tag teams in WWE. But the storytelling in this match, especially involving Xavier Woods with Bray Wyatt, really, really worked. It kind of reminded me of any time you put Santino or R-Truth in a ladder match, them being afraid of heights. Even though that sounds kind of corny and childish, it can work in a match. And in this case, Xavier Woods flat out says he's afraid of the Wyatt family. And you get here, and it's like Xavier Woods has to face his fear. And he faces his fear with Bray Wyatt, but the Wyatt family does manage to go over. That's a good thing. It's a shame that they didn't continue this, that they didn't extend this, because this would have been a really good tag team feud, especially putting the tag team titles on the line. You could put Bray and Strowman, or Bray and Rowan, against any combination of the New Day, or you could put Rowan and Strowman. Doesn't matter. You could have prolonged this feud at least until SummerSlam. I don't understand why they didn't, other than the brand split. It could still work. SummerSlam especially, because you have a dual-branded show anyway, so you could still continue the feud. There's really no excuse for you not to. Then you had Rusev defeating Zack Ryder for the United States Championship, and we're pretty much back to square one with Rusev from where he was in 2014, which was facing random opponents in random U.S. title matches with pretty much no cause, no reason, no payoff, no anything. I don't care. This match was... Well, I get a lot of hate for the stuff that I say. I'm not perfect. I understand that. But what I'm going to say to you is the truth. I'm really getting frustrated with the people that say that they want to hear the truth, yet get so angry and mad and offended when I tell them the truth. Well, in this case, the truth is, I don't care about Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. It has nothing to do with them being ROH guys. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with the flops and the flips and the kicks and the spots and the jumps and the whatever. Has nothing to do with that. I've been getting this match since 2010. You need to do something different with both of these guys. And putting them together, especially this quickly, doesn't elevate either one of them. It doesn't. Putting them in the same spot that they've been in for 6 years does not help them, does not develop them, does not give them growth. It doesn't put them in a better spot. It puts them in the same mediocre spot that they've been in since their days in ROH, since their days in NXT. Now you're on the main roster. And the one positive thing I could say about the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens match is that it ended the feud. Honestly, I don't care that the match was good. I didn't want to see it. It doesn't help them. Especially Sami Zayn. Yeah, he won this feud. Good. What has he done since? Meanwhile, Kevin Owens was tested on the main roster against guys like Cena, against guys like Cesaro, against guys like Ambrose. And now here, he's put in the same position he's been for 6 years. That's a huge step down. And then all of a sudden, you want to put the world title on him? Does that make any sort of sense? He lost. He lost all the feuds he was in except the one against Cesaro. And yet you're going to put the world title on him, forgetting everything that's happened? Really? And look at Zayn. You would think that the win would elevate him. It didn't. He's in the same spot he was. And that is on the low card, the undercard. The problem with this Owens-Zayn feud is that it doesn't elevate them. Get them to a spot where both of them are considered top guys, where both of them have been elevated to upper mid-card to main event stars. Then do it. Don't do it now where it doesn't elevate anyone. You need to establish them both on their own before putting them together, and then down the road, if you do need them for a program, you can do it. And it works a lot better. Here it doesn't. That's the reality. Then you get Natalya defeating Becky Lynch by submission. Okay match. That's all I have to say about it, pretty much. I'm glad that they're doing multiple women's feuds. That's always a good thing. But I didn't really care that much about this feud. I especially didn't care that Natalya went over. I would have preferred Becky to go over. Whatever. You had The Miz versus Darren Young end in a disqualification, a double disqualification. Really? That's what you're going to waste our time with? Come on. You could do better. Then you get to the final two matches on this card. The six-man tag, John Cena, Enzo, and Cass, defeating AJ Styles and The Club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. This match was pretty much an Enzo and Cass showcase. You showcased them on the mic by giving Cena limited mic work. You gave Enzo and Cass pretty much a wide-open mic to be themselves, to do what they want, to be who they are. That's a good thing. You've also continued the feud between John Cena and AJ Styles. You started to phase The Club out of it. That's good. John Cena and his tag team of Enzo and Cass go over. It's okay if John Cena gets one victory in this feud. It is. And again, that's a good thing, especially considering what happened at SummerSlam. It's a good thing. This match was really damn good. When I went back to watch it again, I enjoyed it. You use this as a kind of a launching point for Enzo and Cass. You gave The Club a little bit of shine, even though they're two bald-headed jobbers that I don't really care about. And you continue to emphasize the feud between Cena and Styles. Works perfectly, I don't care. It's great. Good for them. Good for all of them for this performance. Then you get to the main event. This is what frustrates me. You have SummerSlam, your big spectacle of the summer. And you have this match that people have been talking about since the Shields were still together. That's how big this match was, or is, in the fans' eyes. And you're going to waste this event, waste this match on a mediocre pay-per-view like Battleground? And you're not going to wait a short month later to SummerSlam? I understand that the brand extension happened, but SummerSlam is a dual-branded show. And instead of introducing a Universal Championship right away, why not wait? Why not build up some Raw guys to get to that spot of them being worthy of holding a world title? And why not have this match take place at SummerSlam? And that could be the match that closes out the show, not that snooze fest Brock versus Randy Orton. Why couldn't that work? It's just a shame that you put this match that really has 3+ years of build-up on a mediocre pay-per-view like Battleground. And why not put it on a bigger show, like a SummerSlam, or a Survivor Series, or a Royal Rumble, or wait until WrestleMania 33? Could have worked like that. Instead, you throw it here, and the match didn't feel as special. The match didn't feel as relevant. It didn't feel as important. And as the match progressed, and as the match went on, it just didn't click. I'm not saying the match was bad, but the match wasn't what I wanted it to be. It wasn't what I thought of it to be. It was just a match. There was not really a lot of special element to it. It was a throwaway match at a throwaway pay-per-view. And it could have been so much better if you would have built it up properly with the time that you had. If you would have waited until SummerSlam, so that means you have more time to build up. You turn 4 weeks into 8 weeks, or 9 weeks, whatever the case is. I know Roman got suspended. That's a reason to postpone the match. That could have worked so much better. But instead, this match was just a match. And it didn't feel like anything more than just a match. And I still don't like or didn't like Dean Ambrose as champion. I'm sorry, I just didn't. This match just didn't feel special. And it needed to feel special. Especially considering these guys debuted together in 2012. There's 3 to 4 years of story right then and there. And it was just kind of meh. And that's how Battleground ended. Just kind of meh. Nothing special. Nothing that really stood out. It was just a show. And it was just a match. That's just my opinion.